All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are going to pull back the curtain on something that pretty much powers our entire digital world, programming. So let's just dive right in.
I mean, have you ever really stopped to think about it? How do you get that powerful box of circuits on your desk to do anything? To play your favorite song, shoot off an email, or even, well, show you this explainer right now. The secret sauce is programming. And really, at its heart, it's just a special way of communicating. Okay, so let's get right down to it. What is programming really? The simplest way to think about it is like a bridge. It's the bridge that connects an idea you have in your head to an actual task getting done by a computer. And the key here, really, is this idea of computational thinking. See, before you even think about writing a single line of code, you have to learn to think, well, kind of like a computer. It's a lot like writing a recipe. You don't just write, bake a cake, right? No, you break it down into tiny, super specific steps. Programming is basically just taking that recipe and translating it into a language the computer can actually read and follow. And this process, it breaks down into 3 simple steps. First, you develop an algorithm. Now, that word sounds kind of fancy, but all it really is your step-by-step plan, your recipe. Then, you actually write the program. You do the translation into computer speak. And finally, the computer does its thing. It performs the task. And here's the crucial part. It follows your instructions exactly as you wrote them. There's no guesswork, no interpretation. It's just pure logical execution. Okay, so to write those instructions, you're going to need a language. And believe it or not, it's a lot like human languages. There are tons to choose from, and each one has its own rules, its own grammar, and they're all good for different things. So here are a few of the big ones. You've got Python, which so many people love because its code is super clean and readable, almost like you're reading plain English. Then you have something like Visual Basic, which has been a go-to for making apps that run on Windows for a long, long time. And of course, there's Java, a real workhorse that's used for all sorts of commercial stuff, from big company websites to the apps on your Android phone. Now, you'll see each one has a recommended IDE. Think of that as its workshop. We'll talk about that next. Right, so you've picked your language, but where do you, write it? You need a place to work, a kind of digital workshop. And that, my friends, is exactly what an IDE is. So an IDE, that stands for Integrated Development Environment, is basically your all-in-one command center for coding. It's a single application that has everything you need. It gives you a special text editor to write your code, tools to help you find mistakes, and a button to actually run it and see what happens. It's the whole shebang. And what's really cool is that most of the best IDEs out there are totally free for you to download and start using. All right, so no matter what language you pick or which IDE you decide to use, there is this rite of passage. It's a time-honored tradition, kind of like a universal first step that almost every single programmer takes on their journey. And it's called Hello World. That's it. The goal is just incredibly simple. Make the computer display those 2 little words on the screen. It sounds almost silly, but it's the perfect first program. It's a quick, simple way to confirm that yes, everything is set up right, everything is working, and it's your first tiny victory. You made the computer do something. Okay, check this out. In Python, it's literally 1 line of code. You just type print hello world. That's it. You hit run, and boom, look at the result. The words hello world appear. Simple as that. You gave an instruction, and the computer listened and did exactly what you said. Now, let's flip over to Visual Basic. So, okay, the code looks a bit different, right? It's got some extra words in there. But look at the result. It's exactly the same. Hello World pops up on the screen. And this shows you the most important thing to grasp right now. The syntax, the specific words you type, might change from one language to another, but the core idea, the logic of what you're trying to do stays the same. And just like that, you've seen it. That's the fundamental loop of all programming. It goes from an idea in your head to a set of instructions you write to a result that the machine carries out for you. I mean, that really is the heart of it all. You've just seen how you can go from a simple thought to a real, tangible result. And that exact same process, just, scaled up with more steps and more complexity, is how everything gets built. The apps on your phone, the websites you visit, the games you play, it all starts with these same simple building blocks. So the door is officially open. Think about it. Every single piece of complex software you've ever used started with a first line of code. And maybe, just maybe, it was one that just said, "Hello World." So the only real question left is, now that you've said hello, what will you build next? Thanks for joining us.